In this video, I'm comparing the OnePlus Nord N200 5G with the Google Pixel 5. Price-wise, the Nord N200 5G offers a lot of value. Unlocked, it's $240, dual SIM variant, or you can get it for free on Metro by T-Mobile. The Google Pixel 5 is kind of a tough sell at $700, and it's not available on prepaid, which is very terrible. Pixels should be on prepaid, but this is not. But overall, let's review the hardware and the features and see which one is a better buy, or just in general, let's just compare these two bad boys. So the overall size of the N200 is 6.4 inches tall, around 3 inches wide, 0.33 inches thick. The Pixel 5 is an overall smaller device, 5.7 inches tall, 2.7 inches wide, 0.31 inches thick. The N200 weighs 6.67 ounces, while the Pixel 5 lightweight at 5.33 ounces. Build quality, the N200 has a glass front, plastic frame. Pixel 5, glass front, aluminum back, aluminum frame. So a slight edge to the Pixel 5 in the build quality department, but not by much. It doesn't have glass or anything like that. And for that price point of $700, which is 2 to 3 times more than the N200, it's not going to feel 2 to 3 times better. The N200 has dual SIM capability, while the Pixel 5 has a physical SIM card slot and an eSIM. You also get IP68 dust and water resistance on the Pixel 5, which the N200 does not. Now for the screen department, you have a 6.5-inch 90Hz display on the N200 with 83% screen to body ratio, so a nice average size big screen on the N200. While the Pixel 5 is smaller, you get a 6-inch OLED display also at 90 Hz with 85% screen to body ratio. Both of these phones have 1080p Full HD displays, N200 406 ppi, 432 ppi for the Pixel 5. You get an always-on display on the Pixel 5. So basically, these are almost the same quality displays, except one phone is $240, Pixel 5 is going to be $700. But the 90 Hertz is the same on both of these devices, but one just costs 2 to 3 times more. A flagship is having the same as a lower budget display. It's the same refresh rate. So it's kind of a disappointment on the Pixel 5. Big win for the N200 in the screen department. Now moving to the software, this is probably the selling point for the Pixel 5. The N200 runs Android 11 with Oxygen OS 11 on top, which is a close to stock version of Android. The Pixel 5 has Android 11, but it is going to have a complete bare bones stock of Android as Google intended. And the benefit of having a Pixel phone is that it'll get several years of updates, around 3 to 4 years of updates. But other than that, both of these will feel exactly the same for the most part. N200 will only get 1 major year of updates to Android 12, that's about it. But for the most part, all your apps are going to run the same on both of these devices. Moving on to the chipset, Snapdragon 485G on the N200, Snapdragon 765G on the Pixel 5. Again, I think 99% of apps will run perfectly fine on both of these devices with these chipsets, although you get a lower end of the N200, but that reflects the price. Pixel 5 a little bit higher end processor, but not by much. It's not a full flagship top of the line processor, but for most people, they won't notice a difference when running apps and the performance on these phones. For the storage, the N200 has 64 gigs of internal storage, Pixel 5 128 gigs, but you got a bonus micro SD card slot on the N200, while the Pixel 5 does not. So you got, I think the winner here in storage is going to be the N200, because you should survive with 64 gigs and add storage on the fly with the micro SD card slot. For RAM, the N200 has 4 gigs of RAM, which is more than enough. It should get you by without any major issues. But the Pixel 5 has you covered with 8 gigs of RAM. So if you are running a lot of apps in the background, those 8 gigs of RAM should be sufficient for you. But for the most part, both of these amounts of RAM will be totally fine. Moving on to the camera, this is one feature that will differentiate both of these phones. The N200 has a triple camera setup, 13 megapixel main, 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth. Pixel 5, 12 megapixel main camera, 16 megapixel ultra wide. get you 1080p on the N200, 4K in the Pixel 5. Now, I'll flat out and say it, the Pixel 5 will win in this department. It's one of the best features of a Pixel phone is that it takes great video and great pictures, and it has that night mode. The N200 will not blow you away. It'll be average at best. You'll take good shots with the right lighting or outside, but night shots will be complete garbage. And that's probably the biggest difference between these phones is the quality in the camera department. For the selfie, the N200 has a 60 megapixel shooter at 1080p video. Pixel 5, 8 megapixel shooter at 1080p video. So they're more closely tied together at the selfie camera, both around the same quality, but I'll give the edge to the Pixel 5. Both of these phones come with stereo speakers, but the bonus on the N200, you got that headphone jack, while the Pixel 5 does not. So you can connect your mic, you can connect your headphones, or connect it to your car via aux cord to listen to music on the N200. Flagship phones, more expensive phones, are getting away from that, so that's a big win for lower budget phones. Both of these phones have Bluetooth, but the N200 has 5.1 versus 5.0 on the Pixel 5. But both of these versions of Bluetooth will happily connect to your wireless devices, such as your smartband, smartwatch, your smart wearables, your wireless headphones, and your wireless speakers, for example. You got NFC on both of these phones. Mostly it's used for payment services, and you got USB Type-C port for charging. As for unlocking and security, they both have fingerprint readers, but the N200 has a side-mounted one. You got a rear-mounted one on the Pixel 5, but both are reliable ways to unlock your device. Last but not least is the battery, and in my personal opinion is one of the biggest features in a phone is how good the battery is, because if you have a terrible battery life, that means it doesn't matter how functional your phone is, it is totally worthless when it dies because of nasty battery life. But the N200 really shines here. 5,000 milliamp battery, very generous. It'll get you 1, 2, or even 3 days of battery life depending on your usage. Pixel 5 has almost 4,100 milliamp battery. For a 5G phone, that is pretty terrible. You might be able to get away with 1 day of battery use, but it's, with the higher processor, you might not be able to make it. That's always been an Achilles heel of a Pixel phone. They've always had terrible small batteries, and that's been holding it back. This is where the N200 shines, and other budget phones have big batteries. The standard now is a 5,000 milliamp battery, and Google is really, really behind in the times and the competition with these 5,000 milliamp battery. And also some other phones offer 6,000 or even 7,000 milliamp batteries, like some from Samsung. So battery department is very important to me. It should probably be very important to you. And yeah, Google Pixel 5 for $700, you get terrible battery life compared to the competition. And even though the batteries might differ in these, they both offer fast charging. The N200 has 18 watts, which is perfectly cool. One pair with that big battery. You got 18 watts, same thing, fast charging on the Pixel 5. You also get wireless charging and reverse charging, but I don't think a lot of people utilize that much. So what are my conclusions after comparing the specs on both of these phones? Again, that N200 offers a lot of value for a budget 5G phone. You get it for $240 or free on Metro by T-Mobile, so the price is right. It has a nice 90 Hz display refresh rate. It has a big old battery. It has close to stock Android. It has a micro SD card slot. It has the headphone jack. So you're getting a total package. I know that the software is only going to get one major update, and the chipset is not going to be as powerful, but for most people and 99% of people out there, you should be good to go. You shouldn't really notice any difference in slowdown or performance compared to the more higher end phones out there. You'll be pleasantly surprised. The Pixel 5, on the other hand, it's a very tough sell at $700. It doesn't really differentiate itself to merit that $700 price point. Even the Pixel 4a, for example, that's half the price of this one, competes better with the N200. The Pixel 5, its strengths are going to be lots of updates, fast updates from Google. And if you care a lot about video and camera and night mode shots and all that stuff, video editing, yes, the Pixel 5 will take better video, better pictures in the camera department. So if you really care about that, the Pixel 5 will do you justice. But at $700, it's a tough sell. Battery life is kind of terrible. I mean, it has a 90 Hz refresh rate, but that's the same thing that's on the Nord N200. So at the end of the day, I mean, the N200 is a 5G beast. Pixel 5 it's hard to justify paying $700 for it. So that's been my thoughts on the N200 versus the Pixel 5. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Which phone would you get if you do have it? You know, what are the things that you like about it? Slide into my DMs on Instagram. I'll hit you back real quick. And there you go, guys. Thanks for seeing my video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.